Well, that was a very different kind of Pittsburgh Penguins win. Hi, I'm Dan Kingerski on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now YouTube platform. The Penguins beat the Nashville Predators 3-0. Philip Tomasino, Sidney Crosby score goals, and then Brian Rust adds the empty netter, which I suppose also is a goal. Here's what was so different about the Penguins on Saturday. Even before the puck drop, Coach Mike Sullivan starts his fourth line, including Boko Imama. Why is that significant? Well, for one, the fourth line never starts on home ice, or just about almost never. Two, Michael McCarron of the Nashville Predators has been just a bit of a thorn in the Penguins' side. Go back a couple of years ago, his battles with Sidney Crosby, roughing up the captain. Last November, he fights John Ludwig. Earlier this year, he was kind of roughing up some Penguins, once again, including Crosby. So what does Mike Sullivan do? Puts his fourth line out there with the tough guy. So do me a favor, kind of spare me the trope that Sullivan doesn't like tough guys or doesn't use them. He just knows perhaps when. And that set the tone for the entire game. Because on the first shift, Imama goes back and just crushes Luke Schenn on the boards. The Penguins begin to get some momentum. The Penguins played a very straightforward, a very gritty, physical game. They were physical, step for step with Nashville throughout the 60 minutes. Their offense, Mike Sullivan described it kind of our best defense begins in the offensive zone, and a large part of that was true on Saturday night. And what that means is the Penguins got the pucks deep. If they didn't have possession, they were on Nashville very tight. They were making Nashville skate 200 feet under duress, which obviously is not a good recipe to generate speed or offense. The Penguins created a lot of turnovers, a lot of loose pucks. That kept Nashville pinned. That kept the Penguins on the offense. They kept the Penguins in the offensive zone. So they were able to hold on to pucks. I know that term is kind of a nebulous gray area term for a lot of people. And you saw that Saturday. What it means is when you get the puck low, you're not just chucking it to the net or just chucking it to the next player. You're holding it down low. You're looking for that next play. The Penguins, because they were holding the puck low, opened up that low to high game. You saw a lot of point shots and defensemen with attempted shots while the players went to the net. Oh, what a concept, huh? It was very much a departure from a lot of the Penguins' season to this point. Simple, effective, gritty. And because they were so hard on the puck and the puck pursuit game on Saturday, sorry, it's really cold in here, because they were so hard on the puck in the offensive zone, they were able to keep the puck there. And Nashville wasn't able to really get a sustained attack. In fairness, Nashville is shockingly not as good as they should be. When they did mount a challenge, when they had a couple of opportunities, Alex Nedeljkovic continued his run of strong play. He stopped everything. All 25 shots he faced. Just a couple of quick stat lines to throw out at you. The Penguins had 5 takeaways, although oddly they were only scored with 1 through the first 2 periods. We'll quibble with that. There was quite a few, I thought. They also, the hits, I lost count, quite frankly, but there were, in the first period, especially when things, when the Penguins were establishing the tone and the theme of the game, handful of big hits in the first 10 minutes. Not always the guys you'd expect as well. Michael Bunting was just a bloodhound, but also finishing his checks. Anthony Beauvillier had 6 hits on Saturday. You don't think of Beauvillier as a physical force, but he too was, really playing really fast and in the Predators' face, finishing off his checks as well. It took a minute for Sidney Crosby and the top line to get the motor going, but once they did, boy, I don't know if you didn't catch the game. I'll try to describe it. Crosby did sort of the duck-footed glide around the Predators, toe dragged around one, danced around another. Couldn't find the opening to beat a down and out UC Saros. Crosby had him, just couldn't get the puck in front or bank it off somebody because once Saros goes down, Crosby's kind of behind the goal line. Crosby does get a goal for the fourth straight game, and that top line was just really clicking by the third period. At that point, the Penguins in 2-goal leads. There was no talk of, here they go, or be careful. There wasn't a hint of doubt in the building. And in fact, credit to the fans on Saturday. Most staying till the end and let's go Pens chants in the third period. That has been, I think, long missing around here. Just some love for the home team. The last few home games, maybe deservedly so, boos rained down, especially from the upper deck. Even after, some good moments that didn't convert, there were some people trying to boo. Saturday, there were Let's Go Pens chants. There was a lot of positive emotion, which was cathartic for the Penguins. It's been a wild 24 hours, very tough on a lot of them. Rickard Rakell, and a lot of guys were close with Marcus Pettersson. He's been around 7 years. A lot of guys close with Drew O'Connor. He's been around a handful of years. The team did get to say goodbye, both Pettersson and O'Connor showing up at the practice facility this morning before the morning skate, say their goodbyes, grab some of their stuff. So the team, it wasn't just sort of an Irish wake or an Irish goodbye, I should say. The new Penguins, Danton Heinen, played pretty well. He looked like he fit, almost like he knew the Penguins system. Of course, he did play for the Penguins for 2 seasons from 2021 through 2023. And Vincent Desharnais, 6'7". I could see it. I could feel it. The Twitter crowd was ready to jump on him because he had some struggles in Edmonton, no question. And, he's not good or this or that. He played solid. He kept the net, he kept the crease clear, Ned's vision clear. That's what happens. A goaltender can see the puck. 99 of 100, they're going to stop. And Alex Nedeljkovic got to see all of the pucks on Saturday. So the new guys played well, although I will admit, when I saw the original D pairing, Desharnais and Ryan Graves, it was like, oh, okay, here we go. But they played solid. They're not going to put up any points for you, that's for sure. If they can keep points off the board or goals off the board, then call it a win. And it was a win for them on Saturday. So we'll take Sunday off, or so the Penguins will. We've got some pretty cool stories coming up on Pittsburgh Hockey Now. Dave Molinari is going to dive into Kyle Dubas's strategy, and then I'm going to follow up with a bit more analysis on what I see Dubas doing going forward, and we've got a couple other stories. I didn't get to the Q&A that I promised on Friday when I was flying home from Salt Lake City, only because everything changed, right? And a lot of the questions now are a little bit outdated because they were all asking, will Marcus Pettersson get traded? Well, I suppose we all know the answer to that question now. So the Penguins get to within a couple of games of 500. It wasn't a good night for them in the standings because everybody else in front of them won, except the Tampa Bay Lightning. So they remain 7 points out of a wild card spot, and the other teams have games in hand. That's just how it's going to be. That's why they have to win a lot more games than they lose down the stretch to have any shots. So Crosby scores, Nedeljkovic very good. The Penguins, simple, physical, and gritty. Who knew? I'm Dan Kingerski on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now YouTube platform.